Yeah,
We waited 6 months for that.
Yes.
Those dark days before Christmas. And there we go. So, of course, each day will get, we start losing daylight after that time.
Yeah.
But it's very gradual for the first month. You typically don't notice like the decreasing daylight till like August.
Okay.
And by then, temperatures are warmer than they are often in early June or mid-June. Look at Sailor, Skipper. Don't forget Gunner. On the boat here, picture by Sue. I love this one for our dog walk forecast. Perfect dog walking weather, folks. We're going to creep back down into the lower, well, we're in the low 70s now, but move back down into the upper 60s after 8 p.m. Dry pause this evening. And you can see just a little bit of a northwesterly breeze. We're 73 here in the city. There's the Ross Island Bridge. I think in the next few days, we'll probably see a lot of people on the water. And that's Yaquina Bay. That's the bridge, that beautiful bridge on Highway 101 going over the water. Gust to 25 out at Newport. That's from our Discover Newport cam. And then our Travel Salem camera. Nice down there, mid-70s, light northerly breeze. Salem, you're going to be pretty toasty midday afternoon hours tomorrow in the mid to maybe upper 80s. All right, so Ski Bowl put off their opening weekend because it was cool and showery up there, even some snow. And then they're opening Thursday, so that should be fun to see things in action there once again. All right, radar in Oregon, pretty quiet except for a few scattered showers over the northeast Oregon mountains, like around La Grande, both west, north, south of the city. And then we were watching earlier some thunder showers along kind of the crest of the Cascades here. That's Mount Rainier, Mount St. Helens, Mount Adams, kind of a triangle there. Looks like they're not doing too much there. For sure, they're not moving into our viewing area, which is Trout Lake. You might get a sprinkle and that's it. Okay, that's because there are these little weather disturbances sitting up to the north in British Columbia, one to the east. They're kind of sitting there and falling apart. They're going to continue moving farther away. And as they move away, the atmosphere overhead warms. That's why we expect warming temps. In fact, tonight, not quite as chilly. I think we stopped closer to 50 for most areas west of the mountains. No frost east of the Cascades, which is good. You can get a frost in the high desert in June. Hard to believe, but it does happen. Okay, so the forecast cloud cover. Could there be a patch of low clouds tomorrow morning? Maybe. Pretty much sunny, though, for most of us. Notice the wind direction is coming in from the east out of the gorge. It's very light, but it's there. And also coming down off the Cascades a little bit. When that happens, we remove all the cooling off the ocean. Nature's air conditioner shuts off, and our temperatures rise. So that's why I think we'll be in the 80s tomorrow. Same thing on Thursday, just some thin high clouds. Friday, a few thin high clouds. Pretty uneventful. So for your Juneteenth tomorrow, a lot of you have the day off. Maybe you're going to a celebration. Weather looks perfect. Big range in temps tomorrow. We start at 52 in the city. We've already risen 20 degrees by noon. That's perfect. Low 70s. And then we rise another 15 degrees afternoon, probably peaking around 87 degrees around 5 or 6 p.m. So big range in the temps tomorrow. Same thing coming up Thursday and Friday. I think we'll add a couple degrees both of those days. So we'll call it briefly hot both afternoons. Saturday's still warm, although not quite as warm. But Saturday is your summer day. That would be your day to, hit the river or, use your pool. It will have warmed up maybe by that time if you have one. Because Sunday looks much cooler. Morning clouds, some spots of drizzle, around 70 for a high. And then a little warmer early next week. Looks like summer is gradually trying to move in, doesn't it, Riel and Pete?